Hey everybody, it's Spring with Suds and Suds and such, and I know I've showed these in a previous video, but these are sweet bubby seed pods. Some people call them sweet shrub, and I think they got a few other names, but we're going to do a little experiment with them. And you see there's some of the seeds where I took it out of a pod. Let's see if I can do another one without dropping them everywhere to show you the little seeds in there. Whoops, there went one. But you see, they just fall right out. And what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to figure out, I guess you might say, which ways work best for germinating them. They are very hard seeds. Seem to have a thick coating on them. I've got a lot of the sweet bubbies around here. That's what we call them. But I'll bring you back once we get ready to start going with it. I've just got to see how many seeds I got to get my containers ready. Okay, all I'm doing now is preparing the holes in my little containers. I'm just using little cups, little plastic cups, but I'm using a wood burner to put these holes right straight. Let me get a cup so I can get a hold of it. Holding this camera. Yeah, there we go. Right straight into there. I just simply burning a little hole in there, straight into it. And if I didn't have a wood burner, one thing I used to do is I'd get me a set of pliers. I'd get me a big old nail, and I'd lay the nail on the stove, on your cooking stove eye. I would lay my nail on it with it cut up on high and let it get really, really hot, and then I'd just grab my nail with my pliers or channel lock, something like that, and then I would just make my holes that way. But if you can see, and if you can see, we've got this one that says Sweet Bubbies soak seed method. We're going to be doing different methods. For one, we are going to be doing the soak seed method. I'll put right there. We are going to be doing also the sandpaper method. Now that's called scarification. We're going to do that sandpaper method. We're also going to be doing the scarification boiling method. And let's see, I did the soak seed method. We're also going to be doing the sandpaper method. I told you that. We're also going to take some of these seeds and we're going to put them inside of a baggie. I'll show you how to do all of this here in just a little bit. Okay, I've got some potting soil in there. It's just potting mix. You can use whatever kind you want to. I have done wet them thoroughly, and you see I wrote on there Sweet Bubby straight in soil. That lets me know these went straight in the dirt. And I wrote the date, March 25th, so I'll know exactly when I put them. And here's my seeds. There's nothing's been done to them. I just took them straight out of the little pods they were in. I'm going to put 2 to a pot, and I'm just got a little stick here. I'm just going to poke a little hole in there like so. Put my little seed in there. Then I'm going to take a little bit of this dirt and just kind of cover it up. Make sure it's covered good. And that way, since we're marking these, we'll know, hey, we just put these straight out of the pod into the dirt. Now, these seeds don't need, what do they call it? Stratification. In other words, they don't need to go into the refrigerator because I just got them off of the plant the other day. They've been out all winter on the plant. So they've went through the cold. I'll put me a hole in here. 2 of them. Because I'm putting 2 to a little cup. Nice big old fat seeds. One down in there, cover it up. And these I'm going to be putting into my little mini greenhouse. I've already watered this soil. It's actually still got water coming out of them, so they're really damp. A little bit of dirt over top. And we're going to see, you know, what germinates the best, or at all, or how long, that sort of stuff, by doing it different ways. One down in there, one down in there. Go ahead and poke these holes. Cover them up. So that way we'll know which best works for us. Like I said, I've got 3 different types. I've got the old-timey, like my grandmother had when I was a little kid, and then I've got the white, and I've got a mixed one that's like between, I want to say, burgundy and white. It's kind of like a two-tone looking one. But there you go on these. We've got these, and this is just straight into the dirt. And I'll show you the next one we're going to do. Okay, now our next method is scarification with sandpaper. As you can see, I put Sweet Bubby, scarification. I might have spelled that wrong, so look over it. Sandpaper. That lets me know we scarred it with sandpaper. And March 25th. Put that on there. I got to put dirt in it, but we got our seeds here. We're going to scar those up a little bit. And all I've got here, I got a fingernail file for one. I'm just going to kind of sand them. Now, I'm not doing it any perfect way. If you got any better ways, you can let me know. Or if I'm doing something wrong, let me know. I'm used to just sewing these outside or either soaking them. But I figured it'd be nice to go through a lot of different methods just to see what works the best. And take y'all along with me on that. So I'm just scarring it up here. Different places. Whoop. Okay, and I dropped it. Let me go get it. Okay. Let's see, I've got it here. I might have that in enough, maybe. I need to show it to my husband. These are kind of hard to hold on to doing this, actually. Okay, if you can see, it did change the way flatter right there. I don't know if you can see that. Whoops. Let's see if I can show it on here. Maybe you can see where I scarred it. I'll get him to come tell a little more about that. Okay, he's going to tell you a little bit about this.
Alright, there's generally 2 types of ways to germinate seeds. One's called stratification, where it takes so many days of cold and so many days of warm temperatures to get the seed to germinate. A lot of your seeds have this. Best way to do this is to one that call for the cold stratification. I usually put in the refrigerator early fall. Most of them take about 100 days of cold temps, then the warm up period triggers them to germinate. Then you got scarification, where your seeds have like a hard shell and require, in nature it's usually just over time the outer shell breaks down and eventually the water gets into the inner seed to germinate. Or like squirrels chew the side into it, and that allows the water in to germinate, or bugs and whatnot. Just, you know how nature works. But you can usually accomplish this by two methods. You can scar them manually, which takes a long time, but in commercial applications, they usually take and just pour boiling water over them, and you'll get about, I think it's around 75% success rate with this, and that's about normal anyways. But you can do a couple different methods, or different methods online you can look up, but that's the two types: stratification and scarification is what you need to look into.
Well, we're going to do the boiling method, and he's told me once I start that I'll show you what he's told me to do. But right now all I'm doing is taking sandpaper, and I got an emery board. It's sandpaper.
It works.
And then I've got this piece of sandpaper. Oh yeah, because they're hard to hang on to. They already see, but he said he checked this seed and said it looks scarred enough. I've got like I think 2 sides of it scarred. Whoop, and I lost it again. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to do these little seeds here with just the emery board, this little piece of sandpaper, whichever, probably the emery board, and then I'll bring you back to plant them. Okay, we've got our dirt in our cups. Like I said, we put March 25th on the back. We've got Sweet Bubby, Scarification, sandpaper. So that tells us we use sandpaper on these. And here are our seeds. And if you can see, that one's really light right there. Well, that side's been done. The end of that one, they're just done here and there. My husband seemed to think it was enough, so I stopped. Okay, I'm just going to poke me 2 holes in each cup. We're only doing 3 of these. I've already wet my soil down, and that's just potting soil. I'm going to put my seeds in. Then I'm going to cover it up with a little dirt. And I'll put these right along with the other ones we just did. The ones where we did straight into the dirt, I'll put them in the greenhouse too. They're going to all be on this little tray probably. And where I can keep an eye on them. See, we got water coming out the bottom there. Okay, whoops. Right there. Okay, put a little dirt over them. Now I'll bring you to the next one when we get ready to do it. Okay, in here I've got warm water. Here are my seeds. And on here I've wrote Sweet Bubby, soak seed method, March 26th. The reason I put the 26th, that's for tomorrow. I'll be soaking these for 24 hours. So I'm just going to simply pour them right in there. And I will let them soak in there for 24 hours. Then we'll plant them. Okay, as you can see, I've got a pot of water here. And now I'm going to do the next method. This is going to be the scarification with boiling water. So I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, we're not boiling yet. My husband said let it get to a power boil. What I'm going to be using is this thing. A type of sieve. Like will fit down in a jar, but I'm going to use that. And I'm going to go ahead and put my seeds in there, if you can see. And once this starts power boiling, then I'll bring you back. Okay, I believe we got our power boil going. He told me, because he's not in here right now, but he told me to just take them and stick them down in here like so. Let them get, just give them a quick dip. Give them one more. Okay. You see, I think we got them all maybe. Okay. Yeah, I had one there that I didn't get, but you see I got them. Now if you can see them. And that's what he said to do for the boiling. He said normally if you're dealing with a lot of them, a lot of seeds, you would actually pour the boiling water over them, but we're only dealing with this small amount. I think there's 10 seeds there or something like that. So I'll bring you back and we'll plant them. Okay, we've got our pot and soil, and it's already wet, so I'm just going to poke me 2 holes in each. Take 2 of my seeds that have been dipped in the boiling water. Put them right down in those holes. Seeds are still really hard. Maybe 2 more holes. Cover those up. And I'm trying to give them room from each other by putting them on the sides like that, sort of. Okay, and on to the next one. Okay, here's this method. And I see I left out the T. Okay, and what I've done is I wrote Sweet Bubby right up there, and I wrote March 25th. I've got a paper towel in here that's wet. And this is a freezer bag. You can use just a plain baggie, but I didn't have one. Got my seeds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them in here. Now, I've used this method on lots of seeds, lots of different types, but I'm just going to lay them like so inside of the bag. And we're going to see what method works best for sweet bubbies. Or sweet shrubs, I think is what a lot of people call them.
I'm not going to try.
Pretty sure.
I can't. All my other dresses.
Okay, and then we're going to close this right up here, like so. Just seal it up tight. I'm going to put that in a windowsill. Now, on some of them, you can like cover them up with more paper, and you can actually put them into like a container or something if you want to put them in the dark. These I won't put in the sun, so I'm just going to stick it in the window. And my seeds I showed you that have to soak for 24 hours, I've got those soaking, as you can see. And I've got my containers ready here. As you can see, tomorrow I will pot those up. I'm not going to bring you and show you that part. But I'm going to put all of these into the mini greenhouse. And then I'll do a follow-up video to let you know what happens, what germinates, what don't germinate, or if they all germinate or when they germinate. So we'll get an idea that way. And I may do a little clip when I get them in the greenhouse. Okay guys, I wanted to show you our seeds that we've done in the bag. I've stuck them in the window, and they've already got, it's what you call condensation or something all over the top, the water. But I just wanted to show you that, and I'm going to show you the little mini greenhouse. Okay folks, here's our little greenhouse, and you see I've got them in there. And let's see what they'll do, and look for the follow-up video of letting you know what does what. And if you like the videos, do click subscribe. Hit that little bell so you see every time I notify, or it'll notify you every time I upload. Sorry about that. And happy soaping, creating, planting, whatever you may be doing.